Bonjour and welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today, Aquarius, I'm going to be doing your mid-January tarot reading. I hope you're doing well and that you've had a good first half of the month. Those are general readings, they will not resonate with everybody. Take what applies and discard the rest. I'm going to get a couple of energies from my oracle deck and then I will delve into the message with my tarot deck. So what energies do we have for mid-January for my Aquarius querents? What do we need to know? Alright, let's see. Your first energy is card 49, which is Observer. Now 49, if you add up 4 and 9, you get 13, which then in turn reduces to number 4, which is the number of strong foundations and stability. So right there, you're being told to just observe something. You know, look at the bigger picture maybe, or just observe, do not get triggered by the events that are going to come in the second half of the month. We'll see what the tarot has to say about it more specifically. But this is the message I'm getting from that. And let me grab another card. That one there, I wanted to be with us. And then you get 14, which reduces to 5, which is number of change and challenges, but change in that respect in this deck. Truth be told, now this is the card of either being opened to the truth being spoken to you, or it can talk about you communicating clearly, but because of the other card you received, which is the Observer card, I would say it's more about listening to what people have got to say. You're going to have some honesty coming your way. That's what I'm getting from this. But let's see what the tarot has to say. I've got too many cards, sorry. Alright. So you have the Hermit, the Three of Wands, and the Seven of Swords. Central line, you have the Four of Wands, the Chariot, the World. This is a very nice middle row. Then you have the Nine of Wands, Judgment. You have a lot of major arcana on this spread. And the Page of Cups. And the bottom of the deck, which is energies you are not aware of or may not be aware of, is the Page of Wands. So you've got 2 pages and you have 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana. Okay. So I'm going to start with just the card right in the middle of the spread, because it's what's at the center, that's the most important one. And it's the Chariot. Now, Major Arcana is very important energy because this is what makes you grow emotionally, mentally and spiritually on your life journey. And the Chariot talks about a long, hard-fought battle and coming back successful. So it talks about success, it talks about victory, triumph, but it's not something that comes easy, and it's having the determination to go forward and get it done to get the victory and the success that you deserve. Because although it may be challenging, this has been brought to you by God, the divine, the universe, your spirit guides, angels, whatever you believe in order to make you grow, to upgrade you, if you will. So I personally love the chariot. I love the energy of the chariot because I believe that anything that comes too easily in our lives, A, doesn't make us grow, that's just obvious, but B, also doesn't stay. Whereas if you have to fight for something or work hard for something, then it's going to have a more permanent effect in the long term, which to me, is more worthwhile. But that's my point of view. The chariot also talks about traveling, so it may well be that you are thinking about traveling, but that's just another, side of it. Take what resonates. Now, here in the top, you've got the Hermit, the Three of Wands, and the Seven of Swords. And I chuckled to myself when I saw the Hermit, another major arcana, because the two oracle cards that you got, the Observer and Truth Be Told, made me think of the Hermit immediately, because the Hermit goes in isolation, he retreats so that he can shed light within himself or herself and find the clarity that he needs, the answers that he needs. This is a very receptive energy, not an action-taking energy, and the energies for your reading really talk about you being observer and being open as well to receive the truth, the news, the change in your world. So yeah, when the Hermit came up, I thought, yep, okay, obviously, you're here. Then the Three of Wands. Okay, so the 3 is the number of growth and expansion. In the beginning of the prosperity and abundance, and the Wands is to do with your willpower, your spirit, it's fire energy, what drives you, something you want really badly. And so here in this deck, you can see she's reaching out. It's because she's seen the beginning of growth and she wants more, obviously. So there is that sense of being on tender hooks, expecting more, okay, because you're passionate about what it is that we're talking about at the moment. And then you have the Seven of Swords. Now 7 is the number of experience, but also evaluation and assessment. And the Seven of Swords talks about being focused and determined and pretty much doing what it takes to get to where you want, which is why often it's described as a thief or someone trying to move things in the shadow because they're stealing. But in the broader term, it is having that determination to get it done. And so this to me, which is your near past, is more of an active energy. So you actively going for what you're trying to accomplish in your life, whether we're talking about a new relationship, a new job, a new business, a new venture, anything, and you're really going for it, and you want to see this grow, and you're ready to do pretty much anything. You're very in the yang type of energy, active energy, action taking, because Wands is also a lot of action taking. And then and obviously, with the Chariot just underneath, as I've just mentioned to you, the Chariot is really charging to get what you want and being successful. Before I move on to this line, you also have Judgment right underneath. So if you look, you've got Three of Wands, the Chariot, and the Judgment card. And Judgment is another major arcana, which talks about, well, it could be literally a report card, you being judged for your actions. But it's also a wake-up call of, wanting to do something and, wanting to take action because you've heard the wake-up call. It can also transform you, the wake-up call. As you can see on this card, you've got the lotus flower, which is associated with the crown chakra. So, you suddenly understanding, oh yeah, this is it, I get it, I understand what I want and what I need to do. So you could have that kind of energy too. Take what resonates. But in the middle you have the Four of Wands, the Chariot, and the World. Now, 4 is the number of strong foundations and stability. As I mentioned, I think it was for the Observer. And Wands is to do with passions. Now, the Four of Wands can mean different things depending on your circumstances. This could talk about a cause to celebrate after the growth from the Three of Wands. And what I like to see is I like to see that there is progression between your Three of Wands, which is in the near past, and the Four of Wands, which is now. So the Four of Wands can sometimes represent commitment, engagement, marriage, although to me not quite, but it can for relationships. But it also talks about a landmark. So you've experienced some growth in whatever it is you're trying to achieve, and you've reached that landmark and you're feeling good because, you know, you've already given a lot of yourself and you've reached that point here and you're feeling stable. You feel that your efforts have borne some fruit, if you see what I'm saying. And this was just through sheer hard work, determination that you've accomplished that Four of Wands. And then you've got the World, which is another major card, major arcana. And the World is a beautiful card because it talks about the end of the cycle and you going through the portal, having achieved the lessons that you needed to learn from this adventure. It talks about victory, it talks about success. But for some of you, if you remember, I did talk about the Chariot being an energy of traveling, and you've got the World right next to it. And I have to mention it. This could really talk about you going somewhere really far away in another country, wherever it is you're living. You know, I can't help but think this is for someone specifically, but maybe to be reunited with someone, and maybe getting married. I mean, I left my country to follow my husband. I mean, we weren't married at the time, but I did. I left to be with him, so this could be the case for someone right here. But otherwise, it talks about victory, end of cycle, and really having mastered all the lessons you needed to. And in the near future, you've got the Nine of Wands, the Judgment card, and the Page of Cups. And you see, I'm not surprised to see the Nine of Wands here, because, well, all of this is kind of really active energy, you trying to manifest something and working hard, and maybe, you know, as I said, moving country for some of you if it's about love, to be with this person, and it takes its toll, right? The 9 is the number of achievement because it's close to number 10, which is completion. But the Nine of Wands is you having given everything you've got, your soul, your passion, to this project, whatever it is, whether, as I said, you're building something or you're looking for a promotion, a new job, starting a business, or if it's a relationship. And so it's also called the Wounded Warrior because it's the card of being very tired but not having given up, because you can feel the 10 is coming, so there's still that energy of persistence. And I talked about the Judgment card in the middle, that wake-up call, being here in the near future, and it's followed by the Page of Cups. Now you've got two pages, you've got the Page of Cups and you've got the Page of Wands in the hidden energy. Now the Page of Cups, pages generally speaking bring you news. They represent also inexperience in whatever suit they're talking about, and they can also indicate a change of direction. So Cups is to do with your emotions, your feelings, your relationship with people, and the Page of Cups can talk about figuring out your feelings, you know, having had that wake-up call, having given everything you've got. If we're talking about a relationship here, you figuring out what's going on in your head, you know, as in, is it really the right person for me? That could be one way. It's for some of you, not for all of you. It could also be someone coming to you with some kind of a love offer, but I'm really more feeling you, the vibe of you figuring out your own feelings. It could also represent someone who's immature in the relationship, someone that you are with and who's kind of immature, which would be why the oracle is, the cards from the oracle were saying, do you know what, don't take actions. Observe, and you'll get the clarity. You know, truth be told is honest communication coming from you or someone, and being able to hear it and being receptive, seeing things for what they are. And coupled with the Judgment card, you see the Page of Cups could be, yeah, representing someone in your environment who is not mature emotionally, not at the same level as you anyway, when it comes to this relationship. Otherwise, this could be some news that's going to support you and help you in the direction you want to go, because you've had that wake-up call and you know you need support. But in the energies that you have around you, you've got the Page of Wands. Now, Wands, as I said, is passion, it's fire energy, excitement, and so it's like a wind of change in the air. You know, it's a change of direction, it's going on an adventure, receiving some very exciting news. And that's why you've got also that, the Truth Be Told card, because that news is going to come your way. It's going to be a passionate either offer or, you know, new facts that you're going to get, new information, and you need to be open so that you can understand what it is exactly. You see, I see this window open, I see you as being the owl and being wide open, so you can get the clarity, the wisdom, the message that you need to hear. But there is definitely a wind of change coming in between that Page of Cups and the Page of Wands. Now, as I said, if we're talking about a relationship, which I believe we are for some of you, it has been hard work. And if we are talking about a relationship, the Seven of Swords can also talk about somebody who's looking after themselves rather than you. As in, they're more interested in what's in it for them as opposed to what's in it for you, because, you know, it's always an exchange when you talk about a relationship, and this refers to the inexperience in love, as in the lack of depth in the feelings from the Page of Cups, which you have in this row over here. So I do believe this is more about love, relationship. But if we're talking about something else that you've invested a lot of time in, it could be, as I said, a promotion or something like that. Well, you're going to get some news. It's going to come your way, and this is going to be a real wake-up call for you. And then obviously the advice from God, the divine, the angels, whatever you believe in, at the moment is to be receptive. Tap in with your female side, with the yin energy. Be receptive, observe from far away, get, you know, a detached point of view, and be open to seeing things for what they are and hearing the truths that are, you know, that may come your way. So I hope you've enjoyed your journey through the cards with me. If you did, or if this message helped you in any ways, do let me know in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really am grateful for your time, and I hope to see you again very soon. I hope you have a fantastic end of January. Until next time, au revoir.